The word Kavya in Sanskrit is also used in common Hindi, part of popular language, but often it's been translated as poetics. In fact, by some very important scholars of Sanskrit, they've got encyclopedias of poetics and all that as Kavya. So, how is Kavya different from poetics?
So, first of all, we have to go to the root purpose of Kavya. That Kavya is not just because somebody has ability to write some poetry and present it, but originally it has a purpose. So, the purpose is that there is a famous statement that Ramadivat Vartitavyam Natu Ravanadivat, that the purpose of Kavya is to educate, that we should behave like Rama, we should follow the moral principles, character, good behavior as was depicted by Rama and not as was shown by Ravana. So, this is actually one of the theme of the Kavya. In other words, the purpose of Kavya is not some entertainment, like you have some nights where poets come and you have poets nights and you go and sit there. That is not the original purpose. The original purpose was that you give entertainment to human beings and then also educate them. Same like telling stories which people like to hear, but the stories have a moral behind it. They have some principles which they want to teach.
And education in the Vedic sense,
right? In the
not
Vedic
some
sense.
other sense.
Exactly. Therefore, I said Ramadivat Vartitavyam.
Yes.
So, poetics can be secular, it can be atheistic, it can be anti-religion. You can also make fun of principles in that. So, that is not Kavya. In fact, Kavya is considered as like the essence of the Shastra. That in India we have all types of Shastras. We have Vedas, we have the Puranas, we have Itihasas, then we have what you call the Vedangas, right? We have Jyotish, we have Chanda, we have Nirukta, so Kalpa, all these things. Then we have the Samhitas, we have the Smriti Shastras. So, Kavya is that which will give you knowledge of all these things, because the person who is a Kavi, who writes, he knew all these things. He was expert in Ras Shastra, he knew about Jyotish, he knew about the Chandas, because he has to write the slokas in particular Chandas. So, he also knew the Vedanta, because the whole idea is to teach that. So, then this knowledge was put into the form of Kavya. It could be a story or it could be in the form of a drama which can be staged.
The same knowledge when transmitted through Shastras is for a sort of an analytical mind. For somebody who is more emotional or who you want to use their sensory apparatus to get the same message in, then Kavya, drama, Katha, stories, all these things get in, are used as a device to convey the same stories,
right.
the same message.
Yes.
So, the meaning and education purpose is the same, it is a different method for a certain kind of psychological bent of mind.
Yeah. So, therefore, there are two types of Kavya, Drishya and Shravya, that which is heard and which is seen on the stage. So, both means were utilized to transmit knowledge to people. So, we have like sutras, we have Vedanta Sutra, Nyaya Sutra, Vaisesik Sutra, Yoga Sutra, Sankhya Sutra, but those are very terse things, and unless you are a scholarly person, you may not have interest in studying them. For common mass of people, therefore, Kavya was brought, stories, Mahabharata is a Kavya.
So, more user friendly way of
yes.
transmitting the same knowledge as the Vedas.
Right.
And so, therefore, while poetics can be anything, the subject matter could be anything, the intended meaning could be anything, the ideology could be anything. Kavya is aligned with Vedic metaphysics and Vedic education in the form of something artistic, which goes into the emotional side of the person, the feeling side of the person.
Yeah. So, therefore, Natya Shastra was written to give the rules of Kavya, It gives you the principles, how it has to be written, how it has to be staged. In fact, the whole story is that when people became little lazy and disinterested, then Brahma gave Natya Veda, so that you can give them little entertainment to people. They will come and watch it, and at the same time they learn it. So that's how the Kavya came into existence.
So, is there something? Is there verse poetry in the style of writing, meter and rhyme and rhythm, which is pure entertainment? Is there such a? Is there a class genre of non-kavya, some other thing?
Well, pure entertainment, I mean, there are slokas which are related with hasya ras.
Just joke,
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. So they are there, but even in that you will see that some knowledge is being conveyed.
What about pure fiction?
Pure
Where
fiction,
it is just got no meaning even, just some random story.
that I cannot think of. At least
Like for instance, we have in the movies today, we have like an action movie, a mystery drama where you don't know who did the murder, and so they hold your attention in the end. There's no ethical purpose or educational purpose. It's just to entertain you in the sense that you grip your energy for a while, and then you can pay some money for that ticket. And even in India, the similar kind of Bollywood, where there's no educational purpose, but it is drama for the sake of entertaining.
Yeah, so originally the Kavya was not like that. So if you see the Sanskrit plays or Shravya,
There's always
Kavya,
a purpose.
there is always a purpose behind it. You will always see that there is a Mangalacharan in which the poet, the author will actually describe that what is his or her intention in writing it. They will always talk about the adhikari and prayojana. There is always a prayojana, there is always a purpose. Without purpose, prayojanam vina mandopi na pravartate, as they say, that without prayojana even a foolish person does not do anything. So these kavis are obviously not mandas.
Yeah. So to prevent the dilution and distortion of the Kavya tradition, I think we should not use the word Kavya for
Poetics.
for purposes which are not spiritual motive. That doesn't mean we don't allow those things to happen. We are a free society, but we should call it poetry. We should call it secular poetry. We should call it something else. We should come up with a new term and not try to redefine Kavya in a new way.
Yeah, so there are a lot of rules given for how it has to be written, and what is the purpose.
So most of the modern scholarship, even by our insiders, does not do justice to the non-translatability of Kavya when because they translate it as poetics.
Right. So we should be aware of this.
Yes.
Even if you use the word poetics, then you must define what you mean by it.
Yeah, and resist this kind of a tendency to digest and distort by pointing it out.
Yes, I think that's very important.